It is the top of the hour. So welcome everyone to Fun Friday here in the Success Mastermind. I am John Lavenia at your service. It is the 25th of June, and I'm excited to be here with some of my favorite people. So I know it's Fun Friday, and it's also summertime, and we've got a few people here who probably have come with a joke as instructed, as demanded. I see Gail just joined us. Hi, Gail. She's usually good for a joke. Before we get into that, though, I want to acknowledge everyone here for everything that's been going on inside and out of this community. Of course, you know I get to have a time with people throughout the online business industry and just entrepreneurship in general, and people that we coach and work with. And I'm feeling like there is a new, like a breath of fresh air coming into the whole online business space. And I don't know how many of you have experienced that for yourselves, but well, I know my daughter certainly has. She just put out her own website at 10 years old and has orders coming in every day. Have you guys seen this? Let me go ahead and pull this up here. Hold on a second here. Let's do this. So luckandlovely.com. How's that? Huh? Let me go ahead and share my screen. Look at this. And this is not done. Okay. I think she did this on, what's the name of this site? What are those sites that it's like templated, not like, you know, Kartra or ClickFunnels or any like hardcore kind of publishing site, but crap. I can't remember. Look at this though. Look at this. This is her work. And Squarespace, that's it. Thank you. So, and she's, you know, going to be building this out. I don't know. We got anything in the about section here? Inspired by nature. Oh, okay, great. So obviously there's more to come. But Luck and Lovely. Yeah. And she leaps for joy every time an order comes in. So, and I know a couple of you have ordered already. So this isn't a pitch to go buy for my daughter, but you could, I suppose. So that's just one example. Why do I bring that up? That's just one example of people creating new stuff. Right. And I think especially in the seemingly never ending age of COVID, depending on where you live, it's good to get creative. And I think we're going to talk a bit about that here today, because if a 10-year-old girl on a whim can, you know, throw a website up and, you know, she sells this stuff at you know, farmers markets that get a table and, oh, how cute. It's a little girl. Right. Maybe that's what we need to do. We all need to have a front person who's a little girl. Bring a 10-year-old girl with you. She's the salesperson. The point is that it's working, and she's very excited about that. Gail, do you have a joke for us today?
Oh, let me look.
Okay, you go figure that. Who else has a joke, or you got a dog? I know we got to see dogs yesterday, just impromptu.
Okay, I got one.
Oh, come on, Gail. Yes.
What did one ocean say to the other ocean?
I don't know.
Nothing. It just waved.
It just waved. Fantastic. Thank you, Gail. Always fun. Always good to see you. Oh, of course, I'm wearing one of my shirts that you've never seen me wear before. Yeah. Maybe you have. I don't know. This is one of those Tommy Bahama. I used to shop at Tommy Bahama all the time. I don't know if you have Tommy Bahama where you are, but it was very popular, especially in places like Scottsdale, Arizona, right? The silk, you know, Tommy Bahama shirts. You walk into the place and it smells like, you know, coconut tropics and stuff in the middle of the desert, right? So pretty popular. Probably paid way too much money for this shirt, but it's still kicking after all these years. Haven't been in a Tommy Bahama store in a while. So I guess that's perhaps where we're going with this today is online business. Yes, stats are way up. Retail stores, I don't even know. Are retail stores still in business? Obviously some are, right? But a lot aren't. I know in the you know, climate that we've been in, economically, politically, you know, based on whatever jurisdictions or whatever, some businesses have completely uprooted or gone away or completely changed their business model to something entirely different. So the question then for me is, am I keeping with the times? Am I doing what's necessary to continue to reach goals? Because my goals don't go away, nor do I know how to reach them until I do, right? Nobody knows how to reach a goal until you've reached it, obviously. So am I adapting methods to conform to my goals? I think everyone here has been through, I know I've given you the opportunity to go through a classic recording from Earl Nightingale called The Strangest Secret. The Strangest Secret. This is a big, big deal. Does anyone recall what Earl Nightingale said is his favorite definition of success? Because if we're going to talk about success, we've got to define success. And here's the best definition I've ever found. And then he says, what? Who's got the verbatim Earl
Progressive
Nightingale?
realization of a worthy ideal.
Bam! Exactly correct. Exactly right. The progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Okay, so let's look at the words real quick. Progressive, meaning we're making progress. We haven't arrived. Okay, fine. There's an old saying, the joy is in the journey, right? So is it? Here's the question for everyone. Are you enjoying the journey? Are you making progress? Can you pivot? Can you adapt and overcome based on, whatever circumstances are being thrust upon you by planet Earth? I hope so, right? Continue to make progress. The progressive what? Realization, making real. We're talking about, here's an idea, and we're going to realize that. We're going to make it real. We could also say manifest and things, but I like how he chose the word realize. I've heard some like motivational speakers, because I've been in this space a long time, some say fulfill your potential. And then I've heard it said differently. I've heard it said realize your potential. Which one? I know that may sound like a tiny little distinction, but listen to the words: fulfill or realize. Well, if you've already got it, like in other words, if you're already, remember the be, do, and have principle? We've talked about this. It's been a while, okay? But like there's nothing to attain in terms of your beingness. You're already there, right? So we're just going to make it real now. A little bit of a play on words there, but I'm into words, right? So the progressive realization of a worthy, all right, worthy to who? Worthy to who? Now we're making an evaluation, right? So this is a judgment that we're making. We are using discriminating thought to separate the wheat from the chaff and to decide what we're saying yes to and what we're saying no to in life. Who's choosing? That's the question. Worthy of who? See, a lot of people they look at their goals, assuming they have any, or they look at what they want. They look at what they want, right? And they wonder if they're worthy of it. Am I worthy of that? Hopefully, I could do that. Let's see how it works out, right? If the gods smile upon me, then perhaps I could have that. These are all statements of confusion and ignorance and unworthiness. And look, we pretty much get what we expect, right? So a worthy, okay, worthy of who? Worthy of me. Look, I'm going to be trading my life for this, right? Because everything we say yes to, we got to say no to other stuff. So if I'm going to spend or invest some of my attention, and I only have so much of it because I only have so much time, and only so much bandwidth, right? So if I'm going to invest some of this precious, these attention, tokens here, and I can invest them, and I have to spend them every day, by the way. I don't get to keep them. Hey, let me save some for tomorrow, right? So every time I spend watching, kitten videos on YouTube, that's an expenditure of a token, let's say. You only have a bucket each day. You get a new bucket of them, right? So I'm going to trade these for something. Well, who gets to evaluate that? Hopefully you. Now, I will say most people don't. Most people are like parrots, right? They say what they heard other people say. They expect what other people think they should expect. Whose life are you living? This is a big question, right? I mean, if we're just over and over and over again playing outworn, practices and thought patterns and belief systems that weren't even effective for the people who sold them to us, 2 or 3 or 100 generations ago, whose life are you living? right? I remember, and I'll paraphrase Gautama Buddha, where he said, don't believe something because you read it in books or because it was told you by some sage or because of your traditions, right? Don't believe any of that, right? But when it's, of sound, reason and workable in life, live by it, okay? Go do it, right? Don't just, not about your belief, right? What are you doing? Who are you? In fact, when Buddha was asked, who are you? He said, I am awake. Good answer. I'd like to come up with that answer someday. Again, I'm not there, but arguably on a gradient scale, I'm a little bit higher on the awakeness scale than, someone who's, I don't know. Yeah, look around. Society is an interesting place. So worthy of you. There it is. And then what? A worthy ideal. Can we ever completely fulfill the ideal? Right? Back to the idea of progressive realization, not arrival, not perfection, progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Okay, so here's my ideal. And certainly as we attain goals and we realize goals that are finite, in other words, they're not the entirety of our purpose, right? So you could have a purpose to cause, plenty and prosperity and sanity and on this planet, right? And to end hunger and save the whales. And then you've got all these wonderful, intentions and purposes. Is that something that you think could ever come to fruition? Like, I would argue probably not on this planet. Okay, so like a completely, harmonious. Certainly, there's going to be disharmony, right? I mean, even if you think if everyone was like succeeding and well-fed and like all the major problems of the world disappeared, you would still have what? Disagreements. You would still have some degree of discord. You'd still have people that are cross-purpose with each other, right? Because we don't all have the same purpose. Okay. I mean, you'd have a whole lot more harmony, obviously. Okay. But there would also be a degree of disharmony. There is no absolutes in the universe. There are no absolutes. Okay. So a worthy ideal. The ideal is what we hold on to whilst achieving these worthy goals along the way. So these are mile markers on the path for us to, demonstrate to ourselves that we can, in fact, live the life we choose, have the experiences we came here to have, and yes, overcome problems along the way and all that. But back to the original point. So here we are doing this online thing. Every single one of us are online right now, whether you're a member here on the live broadcast or you're watching the YouTube replay or whatever. This message is coming at you via the interwebs. None of us are sitting in the same room. So this didn't exist 10 years ago, let's say. Or I remember, does anyone remember live stream? Is that still a thing? Live stream, where you would pay like $1,000 a month to like publish your live stream out to the interwebs, and like you can get people on and you have to pay for however many people. We're at what, $50 a month for Zoom, and I can have like 500 people on here and recordings. Yeah. So time has gone on. Plus there's, the Google Hangouts on air, which they now call YouTube Live. And I don't know, Ego would know more about what the labels are. But anyway, we settled on Zoom. It works fine, whatever, it's cheap and it works. So we're all online. That's the point. Okay. So what are we doing? Because look, the internet has democratized your ability to publish, right? Your ability to impinge on the public, your ability to attract attention to yourself. But it's only empowering to you if you use it as a producer and not just as a consumer. Back to basics, right? So here's the attention, right? Here's your bucket of attention. Mandy, Gail, Glenn, here's your bucket. You're going to spend all of it today. You can't save it. There is no savings account. Okay. Now, how many of these tokens that you take out of the bucket and put your attention on are on the, if you look at a roulette, right? Black and red, right? So how many are on producer and how many are on consumer? What do you think most people in life? What's the answer? Whether they'll admit it or not. Consumer. Consumer. I'm sitting here on the internet and I'm consuming. Am I producing anything? We got to balance the flows, right? So for us to be perceptive, right, of the changing times and of how we can pivot and how we can adapt and overcome, we've got to have the eyes of the producer, of the entrepreneur, of the person who has assigned cause to themselves and not effect, right? So think about that. Cause, effect, producer, consumer, right? Or we could say employee type thinking, entrepreneur type thinking, right? Back to cause and effect, what Ralph Emerson called the law of laws. So how much, what ratio do you think, and you can make your own assessment on this, maybe journal about it, right? Maybe do one of these, tracking. I know with my coaching clients, I do a tracking thing where we find out where all your time is going. It's a lot of fun too. Yeah, like down to the minute, like where's your time going? Very revealing, very revealing. I know a few of you got to experience that, but now by the way, that's not a comfortable thing to do. That's like hardcore. Like we're going to really confront who we're being. We're going to really confront that now. So no joke. But you could do that, right? You could take inventory and you could see, you know what, I am spending or investing or doing something with these attention, units. And by the end of the day, how much of that has gone on red or how much has gone on black or on cause or on effect, right? Once we can look and we can see, well, here's my statistics. Okay, there's the numbers. Now we can make, I think, more educated evaluations and adjustments. So I know we've got a couple people here who are engaged right now in stalled businesses. Okay, not that, and this is not a condemnatory or critical thing. All right, we're just looking at what is, looking at stats. Okay, so if you're stalled or stopped and the business model isn't broken, we're not talking about, hey, your restaurant is out of business because you live in a place that doesn't value your own sovereignty and being able to just support yourself, and therefore every business must shut down. That's another conversation altogether. Okay, I'm talking about here you are on the internet, which isn't shut down, where stats are up all around, and if your stats aren't, the question is why. And here's how we can find the answers to that. Because I want, as you guys know, I want nothing more than for you to go make a spectacle of yourself, right? I mean, there's millions being made every friggin' day online. Is it time to raise your game? Here's an idea. Is it time for you to take on something else in addition to what you're already doing? Well, John, I'm not already producing the stats I want here in this realm. Okay. So take something else on. What's the old saying? You want something done, give it to who? A busy person. That's right. I saw Glenn lip syncing with me as I said that. Those who have shall gain more. Those who have not shall lose even what they have. The parable of the talents, right? For those of you who study such things. To him who hath shall be given. What do you have? Or what can you cause yourself to have that now you shall be given more? You see, there's that upward spiral, which we've talked about again and again, and then there's the downward spiral. Which one are you on? And if you could look and recognize, and this is for you, right? Where are my out points? Where are my stats down? Where have I neglected or gotten comfortable or not pivoted, not adapted, adjusted, or not set higher goals because now I reached the goal and now I'm resting on my laurels? And what do we learn right here in this book, which we've been studying for the last 4 weeks? We're going to conclude on Monday. I got some Father's Day cards here too. Happy Father's Day, right? What are we learning here? A sense of direction, right? What happens if you no longer have a sense of direction because you've accomplished the great thing that you were looking to accomplish, right? That has become real. You progressively realized it into the point where it's done, like physically done, like you got the new car, you got the job promotion, you got whatever, right? Did you set a new goal? Well, then you just lost your sense of direction. You're that bicycle that is now falling over because it's not moving. Done, while it's my favorite four-letter word, is also a stop. Think of be, do, and have, right? So, all right, here's who I am, right? I am the achiever of great things. Let me go do things. Let me make bigger decisions now. Let me go attack, and I go on the hunt, right? And then I achieve, I get the prey, right? I make the kill. I achieve the goal. I have the goal. It is done. That's the end of the cycle. That is a stop. Terribly gratifying, but oh my goodness, don't stay stopped. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm begging you, don't do it. So if you find yourself in that situation, congratulations, right? Go drive your Lamborghini. That's awesome. While you're driving the Lamborghini, start thinking about Bugattis, metaphorically speaking, right? I would advise you probably don't buy either. Okay, it's not a good use of your money. But if that's your thing, all right, then how else do we raise our game, right? Or maybe now you've got the whole Lamborghini thing out of your system. Now it's about starting that foundation. Now it's about some reason for you to advance and continue to progressively realize a worthy ideal, which we can never completely fulfill. Okay, the ideal is the ideal. It's not, the totality of your worldly experience. So in light of all this, if we just look, and we could see where are we pleased and where are we not pleased with our own statistics. And I use statistics because I'm talking about you being able to quantify stuff. You don't necessarily have to make a chart or a spreadsheet or, the pie graph or whatever. It's not my thing, although it is very useful. Okay. But we're talking about taking inventory, right? Here are my roles in my life, and here are my ideals. Here's the ideal, Evelyn, the ideal Gail, right? Here's the ideal Edward in this role, which could be father, mother, daughter, sister, business person, right? We've talked about this before. Steve Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. We got roles and goals, right? So which roles am I choosing to play? Because I am trading my life for them, right? I am spending these bits of attention each day into these roles. And which of them, statistically, based on my own assessment, again, worthy to who? Worthy to you, right? Which ones am I pleased with? I like this one. Oh, here's the money. Oh, the business person, right? The role, that hat that I'm wearing, part of my day, that hat, that's a good hat, right? I'm manning that post well. Oh, exercise. When was the last time I was at the gym? Oh, there's those statistics. I see. Yeah, okay. So then we can find the out points, right? And we can look at this very useful thing called our calendar, back to the question of where all our time goes. And we can put stuff on our calendar to enforce to ourselves the discipline that we've decided as, people who are progressively realizing worthy ideals that we've decided are worthy of our time. I am now going to trade a half hour's worth of attention and effort for the exercise program. And again, however many roles you have, which is also a revealing thing, right? If you're trying to wear 15 different hats, okay, but one of those hats, I know for every single person here, is entrepreneur, business builder, right? Executive of your own enterprises, singular or plural, right? And so let's say that we're looking at these this enterprise here. Are we pleased with the statistics there, or is it time for us to like pivot and add promotion, which is usually the answer, right? Promote, right? Attract more attention to yourself. Be a producer, not a consumer, right? So we can get into that, or if we're like, I've gone as far as I know how to go, or I'm willing to go. Who's calling me? I've gone as far as I care to go at this time with this modality. I'm going to add another modality, the whole idea of multiple streams of income. And I get, you got to balance that, right? Because the fox that chases 2 rabbits catches neither. Me personally, I can chase probably 3 or 4, and that's probably it, and actually catch something, but I've been at it for quite a while. So I like diversity. I like having multiple multiple efforts and multiple streams, but I don't like diluting myself. All right, I'm putting all my stuff on do not disturb. They are blowing up my phones, and they can go do you know what. So because right now I've got attention on my family here, right? So think about that. Here I am. I've got a hat that I'm wearing right now. You can't see it, okay? But it's a guy who leads these conversations, these discussions, and when I look at what is occurring here, regardless of the size of the group, big or small, how many people watch the recording, how many people are on live, besides all that, okay? So that's not the statistic I'm looking at. What I'm looking at is the actual product of what's being created here. The breakthroughs that I get to hear all the time from those of you who share your wins with me, and thank you for doing that. And thank you, Edward. Edward's very lavish in praise. We got two Edwards on here. Yeah, I love both of you guys. You're awesome. Thank you. Thank you for being in this community. Thank you for being a part of my experience of creating this product. What is the product? The product is consistent realization on a progressively increasing scale of you getting what you want, right? Of you remembering how powerful you are, of you reestablishing causation in your life, regardless of the circumstances, which may or may not be congenial. Whatever. Okay, we're showing up. Well, let's show up powerfully. That's what this is all about. Reminders, your cause. Remember your cause. My goodness, if I could just remember that all throughout my day, if I could have Linda follow me around and whisper in my ear all day, remember your cause. You're powerful, man. Yeah, remember, that's who you are. Be, do, and have in that order. That's right, John. That's you. Well, that would be a treat, right? I don't know. It'd probably get a little bit annoying after a while, but I don't know. Maybe we could try that. Put Linda on the payroll. But you get the point, right? It's that consistent daily personal development. Because when the pressure's on, what's going to come out is what you put in. Squeeze the orange, you get orange juice. Period. Right? That's what's in there. Right? So if we could just saturate ourselves like an orange, would be, it's saturated with its own juice, right? But if we can saturate ourselves with right thinking, right? With the reminders and the more consistent, or I could say chronic emotional state of being a top producer, of being, someone who adapts and overcomes and pivots and reaches every goal you set, regardless of circumstances or whatever. That's not cause. I'm cause, right? If we could just chronically be in that state, we would actually be immune. We would be immune to all this other crap that takes us off course. How do I know it takes us off course? Because I get off course. Yeah, I get to be the effect too, right? I haven't arrived. So we've been talking 28 minutes already. So here's what I'm thinking. I'd love to hear your perspective on this. I know it's Fun Friday, so if you got a dog or cat or something you want to give us a little dog show, I'm welcoming that. Or if you got a joke, but if you want to, please come out and if there's something that you would like, look. Personally, I'm making this personal offer to everyone who's on here right now. If there's something about business or life kind of stuff that you want to talk about with me, one-on-one, I've got some time this weekend. Like I had a wacky week and not 15 seconds to myself, and we're wrapping up tonight. So perhaps if you want to get together one-on-one, we got some. I'd just like to connect with you guys because I want everybody here winning unapologetically and ostensibly and ostentatiously. How's that? There's some words for you. Look them up. Who would like to come out? Who would like to come out and have a little time here with us? Everyone's muted. All right. Hey, Glenn.
What's happening, my friend?
Man, I'm fired up.
I could never tell.
You know what's funny, Glenn? I had I was on our our mastermind group Facebook group, right? For the and it has a bunch of little round pictures of members, and it goes off to, from left to right, and then it trails off with like three dots. Okay, because there's more than you can fit on that little strip, right?
Yep.
And if you can picture what I'm talking about. And guess who the last guy on the right was? Glenn
Oh,
Henderson. And
no
guess
way.
where the three dots were? The three dots were right across your eyes. And immediately I thought of that character from Star Trek, black dude with like some sort of electronic eyes or something.
Geordie LaForge, chief
Yeah. So
engineer
I
of
knew
the
you would know who it is.
Starship
I was
Enterprise
like,
from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
there you go. So could you believe it? There's Glenn with the three dots across his eyes. I'm like, come on.
You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah. I should have screen captured it.
Well, I don't know if I have anything funny to say, but yeah, I didn't really sleep well last night. Kind of got to bed late in the first place, and was kind of tossing and turning. I knew I needed a boost, so I made my coffee this morning with Red Bull instead of water. I got halfway to the office before I realized that I'd forgot my car.
Oh.
So,
That's good stuff.
yeah.
Hold on, Glenn. Real quick, brother.
Real quick, yeah,
Got it.
I am, yeah, starting up something new. Thinking about it and talking with some people, and yeah, I'm going to be starting a new venture because as I was hearing you talk this morning, it reminded me that I'm seeing some decent stats, in the stuff that I'm currently doing. But as I was saying to somebody in a conversation recently, I realized that when I was back in the corporate world, my threshold of boredom on a job was about 9 months. And so I'm not bored. The way my brain works, I need other stuff going on. So I'm about to take on some other stuff, and I'm pretty excited about it, and I think it's going to work out well. I'll let you know. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'll tell you that.
Okay.
Just, so that was it, really. I'm a great fan of variety, and you were talking about that. I don't know, maybe I got the wrong message from from the conversation this morning. But yeah, it's just needing and wanting to have multiple projects going on, multiple streams of income. What was the word that you used? Anyway, having a variety of things going on keeps me interested.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's where I'm going, and I'm talking about getting into a partnership with a couple good buddies of mine, and let's see what happens. Back to you.
Beautiful, Glenn. Can you hear me? Okay.
I can hear you loud and clear. Am I coming in okay?
Yeah. Good stuff. I found it. I found I took a screenshot. It's in this chat right now. Yeah.
Excellent.
So check it out. Glenn, here's the thing, man. I've known you for years. You're a brother. You're a very able guy. Like I am certain that you put your mind to something and you make a decision about something, there's going to be results. So just in case you have any, like, I wonder, can I or whatever, man, wrong question, right? How big am I going to go? You guys ever seen that movie? Well, this is kind of a loose, corollary here, but anybody ever seen the movie Boondock Saints?
Oh,
Boondock Saints. Oh, one of my all-time favorites. If you want to see Willem Dafoe dressed in drag, that's the movie you want to watch.
That would be the way to go.
Yeah, but anyway, but there was this scene with Billy Connolly, who was like the father figure in this, and his two sons, and they're like vigilantes, like serious vigilantes, and they say, "How far are we going to take this?" He said. And his answer was, well, the question isn't how far are we going to take it, but do you have the constitution, the depth of faith to take it as far as needed? Kind of grim considering the context of, they're like killing people, but yeah. Anyway, yeah. Thank you, Glenn. Glad you're here. All right, Stefan's here with us. Look at that. Here comes Stefan. Hi, Stefan. Hi, Stefan. There he is.
Yeah, Boondock Saints. That's I haven't seen that in a while, but that's one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I can imitate an Irish accent is that movie.
Oh, that's great.
That being said, yeah, William Dafoe and drag going on a shooting spree is quite the interesting plot. Yeah.
Oh,
Anyways, back on topic. I think no, I too am working on something right now. I just I've been doing a podcast for a while now with a friend of mine, and I'm still doing that. And we're on episode, as of last night, we were on episode 26. So we've been doing it for 26 weeks straight, which is, for me, I'm pretty proud of, because I usually am not that consistent on stuff when it comes to like actually posting and scheduling and things like that. But my mentor, he's been trying to convince me to start one of my own, and I've been basically talking about doing it for years in some form or other, whether it be a YouTube channel or a podcast or a tutorial channel, like whatever the case may be. But I would always get into a situation where I was like, and I'm talking myself out of it. And so I finally started it up. The second episode is going to be this coming Monday. It was supposed to be this past Monday. It's called Embracing Paradigm Shift, Embracing Creativity with Stefan Bauman. So basically, I'm interviewing people from all different walks of life, all different fields, things like that, and asking how they apply creativity to their life, what kind of challenges they've come up against to get with it, and how they've overcome it, and like basically what their next plan is and everything. Gives them an opportunity to kind of plug their own business. So and I figure by doing that, I'll be able to start setting myself up as more of an expert in the area, because the guy who's helping me with it is doing an excellent job of producing it. So like it's literally like doing a newscast, like having pictures and video pop up while we're talking, and I don't have to do it. So that's good.
okay. Do you need talent? Do you need content?
Yeah, if anybody wants to come on, please, I'd be happy to have you on. So Monday nights at 6 o'clock.
Do you know how to reach me?
Email, probably.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm invited, but I'd be happy to contribute.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be great. Anybody.
Yeah. I know a couple other people here who got, they got words, they got like nouns and, verbs and stuff, and mouth, right? So, right. So Stefan's got a podcast going, ladies and
It's a
gentlemen.
half-hour podcast too. It's not super long.
Yeah, it's
So
a half
we're
hour. The other one
taking
that
a
I
lot
do
of your
is
time.
a lot longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the shorter it is, the harder it is. I found if I could talk for a whole day, that's easy. I'll give you it all. If I got to compress it down into 20 minutes, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Well,
Now it's going to be a challenge.
Definitely more challenging for me on this one,
Yeah.
because we're doing a full run of shows. So like literally there's a whole structure of like, intro to sponsor to this, to that. And it's like, I'm not used to that. I'm used to just getting on and talking like we're doing here. And when it's that format, I have no problem blabbing away. I can talk forever. But when it comes to the structure thing, the first episode I was very nervous, but I think the second time around will be a lot easier now that I kind of know what I'm doing with a bit more. But it'll just get better as we go.
Beautiful. Well, count me in. You know how to reach me. I'm happy to contribute. All right.
Okay.
Congratulations, Stefan. That's progress. That's stats are up, right? We're doing it. We're publishing. Get it published. Thank you. Good times. Who else? Anybody else want to come on out here today? Anybody else? We got Edward and Evelyn, and there's Lindsay, and of course we got Mandy and Suzanne, one of my favorite people from Switzerland. Hey, Sharon.
Guys, I'll jump in here.
Mhm.
It's just so nice. I mean, John, we know you well enough that you have your hands in so many things, and you go 100 miles an hour every day, and you're filling that bucket every day, and that's just huge encouragement. And Glenn mentioned, he has so many things going on as well. In my world, I feel like the people around me, not that they're moving slower, maybe they are. I do live in the South. It just feels like they're not rolling as fast as I am. I very much feel like an outcast in several of my circles, whether it's school, church, whatever. And I'm looking around and like, am I the one that's kind of out of step here? Or is this just the way I choose to live my life and think? But I kind of feel at home when I hear you guys saying that you're doing, 7 or 8 different things, or maybe 3 or 4 well. And you've got so much responsibility, but that's just the way my mind works, and just the way I need that, I don't know, the activity. And I don't think it's unproductive, but I've always been this way. I've always looked for things to do and just stimulate my mind. And I was on a Zoom meeting with someone this morning, and we were both learning, but I'm just a couple of steps ahead of them, trying to lead them in the same direction because they want to go in that same direction. So I like that angst of needing to be doing something new and learning and stimulating my mind. And if that happens to bring an income, that's great. If not, I can choose later to put it aside or continue down that track. So it's nice to be with you guys who are striving for things that are out of your comfort zone. And it gives me confidence that I'm not feeling so abnormal, So thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Well, what is normal? It's a setting on a dishwasher. So yeah. I'm thinking, why are we here? In fact, I offered this in my first book, which, by the way, I'm looking at now doing a public, because I know Julia was saying, let's do Integrity is Everything as the next book. And I'm thinking, why don't I do a workshop like we did with SGR? That was fun. So maybe we could do that. Still formulating that in my brain. But look, the whole idea here is that I offered is that the whole purpose of life is to have the experience. So why are we here? And there's lots of different experiences. Okay, well, what experience are we going to have? Whose life are we living? Right. So the deliberate, execution of, thought and, effort and learning stuff. Right. That's a statistic. So here's Sharon. Right. And every day, she's stimulating her mind with things that may or may not, profit her financially. Okay. That's a different statistic. Okay. But what's one of the surest ways to have that self-esteem is to learn something new every day. We can even journal about this. We can write down each day, I learned this. Right. Let's take some inventory. Look at that. I got new skills. Just a few weeks ago, my daughter was here and popped her head in on general session. And then after session, we jumped in the hospitality suite, and Sharon taught her, some tricks on the little 2D2, recorder thing. Right. So thank you, Sharon. Right now, could you do that if you didn't already know it? No, you can't give what you don't got. And if a lot of people are less motivated than you in your midst, I just look at that as an indicator of I have no competition. Right. I mean, I'm moving, and if they're not moving, maybe I could inspire them, right? Maybe there's a whole leadership thing in here. And in fact, there is, right? Because there's this idea of attraction over promotion. So let's say that your life is working, you're moving and shaking, right? You're, next thing you know, you got the Lamborghini or whatever the thing is. And now others are like, hey, Sharon, you know what? What are you doing? I know, certainly Glenn and others who are involved in more of like networking type approaches, attraction is a beautiful thing. I laughed because was it last week? Glenn did this. He did this the Networking Magic broadcast, and he was talking about this guy who was trying to shove how great he was. The guy who was trying to sell Glenn. Oh man, I'm awesome, and I know everybody, and I'm king of the hill, and blah 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 blah. And it was repulsive. Right? So like forcing promotion down someone's throat against their own will. Whereas, I look at Glenn as an example, as someone who could easily attract people just by being awesome, right? In fact, he even gave that example, a few weeks ago, where, he counseled with this person who was having, some issues in their life, didn't pitch him anything, and next thing you know, they're begging to, learn more. How can I, be mentored by you? Anyway, Sharon, you're an asset to everyone who is fortunate enough to be in your environment. Thank you. All right. We got more hands now. Here we go. Lindsay, then Glenn, then Stefan again. All right. Lindsay Dollar England.
Hi. I was just thinking because I know you said you're from the South, and I mean, I'm too. Everybody looks at me like I've got three heads or something. They're like, "What?" And I'm like, but I would rather be the awkward one than to fit in and just roll with the. I'm just not one that I have to do things. I'm just not. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't care if they look at me like I'm crazy or not. I'm going forward. And thankfully we've got this mastermind is always backup for when you don't have backup people supporting you. This is the best support team there is. And I'm very grateful to all of you for that. And because it is hard when you're around people that just don't seem to get what you're doing can become. But yeah, I was glad. I'm not glad to hear you say that, but I can understand where you're coming from. So yeah, that's all I want to say though.
Thank you, Lindsay. So glad you're here. So glad you're here, my friend. That whole idea of not going it alone, that is so enormous. That's why the whole mastermind group exists. Hey, Glenn, you've got the floor again, sir. I think somebody pushed your buttons.
Just right.
Yeah.
Well, somebody pushed a button for me.
Yeah.
Actually, it was the button called play. Just a quick word for Sharon. I understand this feeling. I think I understand this feeling. Am I the weird one? Right? I'd like to refer you, and this is all I wanted to share. I would like to refer you, Sharon, to a general session that we had back on May 26th. It's in the recordings, done by your humble and obedient servant. The title of the session was, "Are you lonely or are you leading?" Might be some content in there that may prove of some value to you. Back to you, John.
Awesome. Good stuff. And yes, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we archive every delightful pearl of wisdom that falls from our mouths for all eternity. Someday, people will land on this planet and discover our archive and think this is what the human race was like. And hopefully they'll be impressed. Stefan, you have the floor once again, my friend.
I remembered I was going to bring something up before after, and you guys just reminded me of the next to keep this book because
You're going to have to shove the mic in your face with that mask. Yeah.
I too.
Nothing. Now I got nothing. Where's your mic?
Is that better?
Yeah.
All right, I forgot I had any phone. I was gonna say I'm somebody who needs to have multiple interests also and multiple projects going at the same time because the moment I get bored with one, I lose interest. So if I have multiple things to go to, I can hop from one to the other and then come back to it. It's a little chaotic sometimes, but people look at me like I'm nuts too, but I have to do it otherwise I go crazy. So I know exactly how to feel. And as far as being weird, well, maybe you are the weird one. Who cares?
Yeah. I heard someone say, don't worry about what your neighbors think. They probably don't. So whatever. Whatever. That is such a great answer. I'll tell you what, that's a t-shirt design. Whatever. Edward, you've got the floor. Hello, Edward. Thank you, Stefan. Edward.
Hello, everybody. How you doing?
Awesome.
Well, I got a couple of inputs right quick. First of all, on the progressive realization of a worthy ideal, we can rename everything we're doing to find, see, know, and be. You know, that's pretty much what you do, John, when you speak to us and let us know your perspectives. It's just amazing to me what's going on. And then in terms of the individual to speak to you all day saying you're the best, you can do it, you're the best, you're the one. What I do is I know you guys are much more high tech than I am, but the earbuds that I use, I use one to talk to the individuals on the phone because I make about 80 phone calls a day. And I use the other one to have a recording playing the whole time, like Bristol or Norman Vincent or whatever talking to me when I run into a bozo, to keep my attitude where it needs to be. And last but not least, this is for Lindsay Dollar. Lindsay, when people look at you from the South and like you're whatever, I'm from the South, and you're just rooting for the wrong team. This is champions, the champions. See, you're over there with those whatever.
I live with three of them. I just did a little too much for me.
The champions is what you want to do. So when you know that you're a champion, you ain't got to worry about what nobody else said. Okay.
That's true. That's true.
Hey, go Tigers. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Where are you? Which Tigers?
Hey, there's a song out there. It's called "We Are the Champions," my friend.
Somebody's about to get their feelings hurt up in here.
Oh boy.
Going for 19, baby, 19.
Yeah. So Lindsay is a hardcore Cubs fan, baseball. So yeah. Lindsay, did you ever even live in Chicago? So like, where'd you get the...
No, my dad grew up in Chicago.
Okay.
He
There
was
you go.
born in Germany, but grew up in Chicago.
Right. Okay.
And, yeah.
I was wondering about that. Yeah.
born
You
in
don't
Dublin.
seem Chicago-y to me. So
No, I don't.
yeah. Right. All right, my friends. Well, we are coming up towards the top of the hour. Any burning desires, something somebody wants to share before we wrap up? Speak now or not. All right, so we are good to go. I'm going to be back here with everyone to wrap up the week at 6 p.m. Eastern for Be Heard. Also, if you were awake at the time at 4 o'clock in the morning where I sit, we had practical entrepreneurial tips with Ego Obi today. I'm going to get that recording posted right now. So if you weren't awake at that time, you can partake of the PET, the PET, practical entrepreneurial tips. I will catch you all again real soon. All right. Let's have an awesome day. You totally deserve it. I'll see you
Thanks,
soon.
John.
Bye.